near 88. We will have likely thunderstorms and light rain tonight and be warm at 78. And likely thunderstorms and very heavy rain tomorrow and a high 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's football season. There is no better place to catch the action than Barefoot. The food, the atmosphere, and your favorite teams are at Barefoot's 3 locations. Barefoot on the Bay, St. Andrews, Barefoot Hideaway, Front Beach, and Barefoot on the Beach on Front Beach. Great food, comfortable atmosphere, amazing views, and plenty of exciting football. Sunday ticket at Barefoot Hideaway. Plus, get your free logoed Barefoot cup with the purchase of a frozen drink during every game, along with drink specials and tasty football fun zone appetizers. Barefoot. Eat, drink, and unwind. Wow, it's another school year already. On your way to drop off the kids at school, why not stop by Krispy Kreme Donuts and pick up a dozen or 2 specialty donuts to celebrate another school year? The kids will love them, right, kids? Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and Ross Clark Circle in Milton.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Are you looking for wellness items, a natural way to help build your immune system, or items to bring comfort to your home? Come experience the difference that Boho Beach Soles can make. Boho Beach Soles in Pier Park is a small, family, and veteran-owned business, offering a wide variety of organic, all-natural, vegan, and soy products. Everyone deserves to feel their best, and Boho Beach Soles is committed to providing the highest quality products and services. Their passionate team is dedicated to helping people live healthier, happier lives. Boho Beach Soles, 200 Bluefish Drive, Suite 110, Pier Park. #No one fights alone.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy either Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, Medium Frosty, or 10-piece nuggets, you can get another for just $1. Your dollar never tasted so good. So it's obvious what everyone will get, right?
Definitely nugs
Spicy
and
chicken
a Frosty.
sandwich,
Dave's Single and a Frosty for me.
And a Frosty.
Okay, who said Frosty and a Frosty? Pick your obvious choice. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's, buy one, get one for $1.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's, valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined in a combo or any other offer.
Come at me, bro. WGSX Lynnhaven, WVL2 Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
The last ball you got to bat. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning here on the Inside Drive. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Wild morning out there with everything going on. You know, we were lucky to avoid Hurricane Idalia, and prayers to everybody in that hurricane's path, as it wasn't just, you know, along the coast. That thing wreaked havoc all the way up through Georgia and South Carolina with lots of flooding. So a lot of prayers to everybody with that, and you know, a lot of stuff, you know, recovery and a lot of people helping out. But a little bit wild out there at Bay Point this morning. Had a little, you know, typically this time of year, besides the hurricanes, we do have pop-up thunderstorms. Yeah. And there was, at one time, there was 3 water spouts out in the bay that you could see beyond the golf course. And Scott Webb and Glenn Manley did a great job of getting some pictures and some videos of those. It was you can check out our Facebook page. Luckily, they dissipated and they went away, and that cell moved on through. But that's why you always got to be weather aware here in Northwest Florida. So make sure you pay attention to Joanna. And Jay, you know Joanna personally? You spent some time with her?
Yeah, I keep talking about her.
Yeah.
You know, like every so often, about Joanna, our weather person, our weather lady.
Weather lady,
yeah,
absolutely.
And so, yeah, she
knows what she's talking about,
she
right?
does. She does.
Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But we are sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. You can check them out there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. All those new vehicles in stock. Lots of upgrades. The big trucks are in there. You can get some tires at cost, and you can get your service done, and you can buy a boat right there from Kramer Marine and Outdoor. You can check out all their new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. They got Sundance, Seabourn, Spider, and now Skeeter boats. All those great bay boats and getting out there in the Gulf as well. But the fishing is prevalent around here, and if you're going to do some of it and you don't know somebody with a boat, you've got to buy your own boat.
Yes.
Right, Jay?
Is it ironic? I was just thinking about this.
Is it somebody's wedding day? Because it did rain this morning.
Isn't it ironic? That's what Alanis Morissette said.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
Don't you think?
Somebody's getting married today. No, probably not. It's a Thursday.
But the Bay High Tornadoes are playing the Mosley Dolphins tomorrow night. We had a tornado out in the Gulf.
Yeah, a little waterspout action, yeah.
Are the Tornadoes after the Dolphins?
Oh, man. Look at you bringing the heat this morning on a Thursday. I appreciate you because I've been going, and I need to slow down for this radio show. But that's a great point. There were some tornadoes out there, or waterspouts out there in the Gulf, and there's dolphins in the Gulf as well. So it's a precursor to the big game tomorrow night. 7 p.m. kickoff right there.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. kickoff, Tommy Oliver Stadium. Our very own DJ Davey Crockett will be on the call with colorman Kyle Wright with the arguably the biggest game locally this year, most likely, just before getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say locally wise. I mean, I think Arnold Rutherford, that could be a good one. They both got blew out to Bay and Mosley, but they're young. All of this,
everybody's
really
young. Yeah, which is a bright future right around here.
But
that's for sure.
And we got to catch up with Coach Siegel yesterday. And I think he shares the same sentiment with us as far as like, man, we kind of wish that this game was a little bit later, but it is what it is, man. And this is going to be there's going to be a lot of fireworks, a lot of dolphins and tornadoes there out there in the Gulf.
There you go. I hope the weather holds out for the game because not that it wouldn't be a great game if it was pouring rain, but it would certainly change the offensive schemes of both teams, and we may get not robbed of a great football game. But hopefully the weather holds out tomorrow. If it wants to rain, do it in the morning, clear out so everybody can get out there to Tommy Oliver Stadium and watch the Bay High Tornadoes and the Mosley Dolphins go at it on the gridiron.
Yeah, get there early because I think it's going to be a packed stadium. So
yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, we had James Tipton and Justin Bannerman in studio a couple days ago. Tuesday? Yeah, a couple days ago, and talking about the big, it's the Labor Day kickoff event. It was going to be at Point South Marina, but with the live music, the shrimp boil, and all that stuff, it is the weather again. It's not looking favorable, so you've got to plan in advance. So it's actually going to be moved right across the street to Bar 72 at Bay Point Golf Club. Still going to have Patches on the Go cooking that Low Country boil. Still going to have the name of the band, Grateful Dan. I keep wanting to say Steely Dan, but Grateful Dan.
I thought you were going to say Grateful Dead. But
no, are they still kicking?
I don't know.
Which is ironic.
Yeah.
We're grateful for them, and hopefully they're still alive. But yeah, it's going to start at 4 p.m. right there at Bar 72, which is the restaurant at Bay Point Golf Club. We'll have the band set up on the back patio. Patches on the Go will be there serving the shrimp boil plates. It's just $25 a plate with all the proceeds going directly to the Florida Panhandle Golf Therapy Alliance. We'll also have the bar open for beer, wine, liquor, drinks, whatever you need to get there in Bar 72. We'll have some of our awesome servers working ready to take care of you as well. So come out there if you're a Bay Point resident, or you got plenty of time. Come out at 4 o'clock, even if you want to go to the football game. Come out a couple hours there, and then head over to Tommy Oliver Stadium. I know you're excited about it.
Sounds like a great, So it's at 4, you say, tomorrow?
4 to 6. 4 to 6. Absolutely. Okay. But now, instead of the Bay Point South Marina, it's going to be right there at Bay Point Golf Club, Bar 72.
I can think of some great background music or background sounds that you guys can have on while you're having your event.
Yeah, there you go.
Afternoon Underdogs.
That's true.
There you go.
That's true. That's true. And then, for the people that'll still there, we'll just leave it on ESPN Northwest Florida, and they can find out what's going on in the Mosley Bay High game.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's a perfect Friday night to kick off your Labor Day weekend. And if you don't know about the Florida Panhandle Golf Therapy Alliance, you probably haven't listened to the show too much. But great organization helping veterans, first responders, children, anybody with PTSD and or disabilities using golf therapy to better their lives. And Jay, you are very involved in this organization, donating your time to help with the golf instruction side of things, and just doing a wonderful job with it.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, it's such a great organization. Tip does a great job just bringing people each and every week.
Yeah, very, very passionate, and he's kind of enlightened me on this world, especially on the disabled golf world and the whole circuit that all their major championships and the tours that they have. It's just like regular golf. They got people doing some stuff funky with golf and all that, but I mean that's part of it. Anywhere you're going to have that, it's just funny. I've learned a lot from the organization. We are excited to host the event tomorrow in conjunction with Justin Bannerman and Point South Marina Bay Point.
Well, and I've said it before, the USGA has I've seen that part grow, and they see that golf needs this, with the disability,
the disabled golfers,
the disabled golfers.
There's multiple associations,
it's great to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think they even televised the one up there at Pinehurst this past summer, which was pretty cool.
Yes.
Did you see any of the Nebraska? I know we didn't watch the game because we were doing our draft. Sorry.
Yeah.
And but I saw some pictures, some videos. Looked absolutely electric and incredible, especially once it was dark and they had the lights on there and everybody had their phones. Man, what an atmosphere! What an experience for those ladies to play volleyball.
Was there 90,000 people there?
92,000 and like 6 or something.
So they broke the record.
They broke the record for largest attendance at a women's sporting event in the history of time.
Good on them.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. And imagine being on Nebraska's team, or whoever they played. I can't remember who they played, but imagine being on that team and the energy and the electricity you feel from 92,000 people in Memorial Stadium up there.
It's almost like the next couple of games are going to be letdowns because they're going to go,
absolutely.
But it also might make it to where, they're packing out wherever it is that they normally play. So I think that's great for the sport of volleyball, and just great to break records anytime.
Yeah, and it's like when the Stadium Series happened in NHL, which is it's a staple. Now they do 2 or 3 games every year.
One.
Have you?
Yeah, I went to the Lightning Predators in Nashville.
Oh man,
yeah, it was like once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Go watch my Lightning play in my NFL team stadium.
Man,
it is. I'll say this:
head explosion.
Yes. Oh man, it was great, and we were like down there behind one of the goals, like 7 or 8 rows up. So it was, best seats I've ever had in hockey. But you're still far away from the ice. That's the only thing. Like if it's your first time going to a hockey game, I would not recommend a Stadium Series.
Yeah,
I would recommend going to because it's a better environment at where they actually do it. But there's just something about those outdoor games that's really cool.
Yeah,
I bet.
Absolutely. And, and I think the Devils have one scheduled next year, which will be their first ever Stadium Series, which that'll be exciting. I don't know if it's at MetLife Stadium or where it particularly is, but they're going to play one outdoors as well.
That's cool.
Have they done I feel like they have. You ever seen the movie, what was the movie with the Alaskan hockey team that plays the New York Rangers with Kurt Russell when they played a pond hockey game up there in Alaska? Man, I'm drawing a huge blank. But anyway, I don't know if they've done one before, but they need to do
Mystery Alaska?
Mystery Alaska. That is a fantastic movie. If you've never seen
when we were doing our movie thing, someone brought that movie up to get on the list.
It's a good one if you've never seen it. However, I think they did, I don't think it was played on a pond, but they did a game in Lake Tahoe this past season, I believe, in the NHL.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to do an actual pond hockey, ice hockey game.
Yeah, that would.
Which would be very difficult to do because you got to have lines and all that stuff, but just be cool.
You could be ice fishing while you're watching the hockey game or something.
There you go.
Yeah. I think that's technically what it is outside. It looks professionally done or whatever, but with that Lake Tahoe, because they do an outdoor game, an outdoor classic or whatever, and they do the Stadium Series. So
Gotcha. Man, I grew up. One of the best things as a hockey player, there was a pond about 1.5 miles down the road from where we lived, and you'd go out early in the morning. No snow yet. It's frozen. ice is, it's black ice. You could, and you make those first few cuts on the ice early in the morning, skating around. Nothing better than
really.
That. Yep.
I'm living through you, right?
It's epic, and I miss that. I miss pond hockey for sure. It's just as a kid, it's like it's like playing pickup basketball or whatever. It's the same thing, but there's nothing like going on that ice, a fresh sheet of frozen pond ice, and putting your skates on and skating around,
and just like doing a 180 or something or whatever. What do you call it when you like turn into the ice?
A turn.
Okay.
Or when you stop.
Or when you stop. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, when you stop. Yep. Because ice skates actually, we've had this conversation. It's a concave blade, so you have two edges on your blade. So you got to know how to stop on the inside edge and the outside edge.
I got you.
But yeah,
will you give me some skating lessons at some point?
Yeah, right over there at Bay Point.
Yep. Yeah, we just need to get a little colder. But it's cool. They have the that small little rink over there at Sandestin every winter at Baytown. We usually go over with the kids. They love skating.
It would be awesome if they set up some hockey.
It would just be awesome to have some ice hockey around here.
Hey, man, you can make it happen.
It's just very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of volleyball, you've got Arnold versus South Walton tonight, Walton versus Bay. I think Chipley beat Bay last night, if I'm not mistaken. I was watching it on the news this morning. They didn't report the score on the Max Preps app, but I'm pretty sure Chipley beat Bay. But Walton comes and travels to Bay, and then North Bay Haven plays Sneeds. Also got to give the University Academy volleyball team a shout-out. They won their first game of this season, and their first regular season game. They didn't win a single regular season game last year, and they beat Jenks 3-0 yesterday, straight sets. First one was, the second two were close, but they played good. It was awesome. I was proud of it. It was in the new, I'd never been to Jenks before, and it's in that new gym after the hurricane.
Is this first year or second year for that gym?
I have no idea, but it still feels brand new if it's the second year.
Well, that's courtesy of Hurricane Michael.
Yeah,
that happened. I remember that was one of the viral videos because they had a drone flying through it and everything. So great on Jenks there. The better the facilities, the better it is for the youngins.
No, it was awesome. It was awesome, but it was packed out. It was loud. The clapper was there.
Okay, I was going to ask.
But I was kind of far away, so I didn't even notice him until Beth told me about it. But yeah, they played good. They played hard, and there was a lot of students from UA, siblings and stuff like that came out and that were cheering and all that. It was a lot of fun. It was a great opportunity for those young ladies, but they played well. So looking forward to the next game.
Coach Old says that might be the third year that
third year. Okay,
but
thanks,
still,
Coach. It still felt absolutely brand new. Awesome gym. Beautiful facility.
We need a decibel meter to show, when you applaud, 0 to 100, and then bring the clapper in.
The clapper's over 100. There is no doubt. If you're close to the meter, I've got one of those sound meters at home.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yep.
How loud does it go to?
I forget, but it's ironically the way we got it is, I don't know if you were here when we had that Tech Farms team that was competing in this Boeing competition. They had to build a drone for a human, and it had to fly. And I forget, Tech Farms is like the people that did it. I forget the name of the company. They went up to New York and competed it, and they were a finalist. I don't know what happened after that, but they were doing the testing out at Bay Point because they needed an area to test it. And they had left the sound machine because it has to be under a certain decibel. They had all these specifications, but whoever won that competition got $1 million contract with Boeing to build the drones.
Wow.
But they had this girl, I forget her name, but she would fly in it, and they actually went over number 5 one time and was flying around out there. It did flip over one time. Luckily, she didn't get hurt. But
they're inside of the drone?
Yeah, they're in the drone, and she's actually flying the drone as well.
I could use that for my movie.
There you go.
But is it called a drone if there's a human inside of it? Is it?
Well, it's not a UAV at that point because it's manned.
Right.
Because that's unmanned something vehicle. Aeronautical vehicle.
So technically, if no one knows what it is, it would be a UFO.
Unidentified flying object. There you go. Jay, draft was last night.
And I was very stoked and very proud of my draft. I feel
late.
I'll give it to him. He was coaching the Bay High golf team. So
I was 3 minutes late. Everybody was waiting on me, but
that was good because I had to come from a volleyball game and somehow made it on time.
Yeah,
but I'm the commish, so
right.
It was fun. So I was scrambling to try to get everybody's teams entered into the ESPN fantasy app this morning, and I did it the wrong way. So everything I did took me about an hour in between working, and that's all gone. So I was hoping to have everybody's teams updated on the app this morning, but I'll just have to do it sometime this afternoon.
You got a week left, right?
Yeah. No, 13 days.
Okay.
No, not 13 days.
No, we got 7.
A week from today. Why did Steve say 13? He must have forgot about the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Yeah, week from today.
Yeah.
But yeah, were you happy with your team?
I was.
I thought you did a fantastic job. You did have a nice little test drive with the ESPN Northwest Florida draft.
Right.
Some interesting picks. I'll just let David know. Alan Lazard went in the 6th round to somebody. Interesting pick.
Not Jay?
Not Jay. No,
Hey,
Jay did good.
my man.
Jay did good. And some other interesting picks that went out. But yeah, no, the draft order, I mean, it was good. People took some quarterbacks early, and people didn't wait till the last 2 rounds on the defense and the kicker. I think everybody gets excited, and then one person picks a defense, and then the rest is history. But yeah, San Francisco's defense went to the same person that picked Alan Lazard in the 6th round. The defense went in the 7th round. So back-to-back picks of Lazard and San Francisco, and that was the 14th pick in the draft. So that was back-to-back picks. Just some crazy stuff went down. But yeah, Jay, I think you did a good job. You've got Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, Alvin Kamara, Trevor Lawrence, Javonte Williams, Okono, I forget how to say his name.
Tight end for the
tight end.
Chig Okonwa.
Yep. Yeah. He's so good with names.
He is.
And then Tyler Higbee was your top, I want to say that's your top 8.
And then after that, it gets a little scratchy.
Well, it's going to get scratchy for anybody when you have 14 teams in a league picking 16 people.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, there's going to be some that you don't have. But Liam hung out. He picked for Diego, had a good time, and it was a long draft. I don't know if I told you yesterday, David, but the draft kit I bought for Bay Point, and I didn't even think this happens. Obviously, it's huge, but they didn't put the players' names in alphabetical order.
Oh.
They grouped them by team.
Oh.
So, like, looking through 200 wide receivers, and they didn't put the teams really in team alphabetical order either.
So it's just like they're there.
Yeah, it was
Good luck.
It was a disaster. It probably added at least 30 minutes to the draft.
At least.
And a few years off my back standing over that table trying to peel the stickers. But a good time nonetheless. We had some pizza from Paparazzi, one of the Coach James Hale sponsors, and it was a good time had by all.
I woke up this morning. I don't dream a lot, but I was dreaming. It was funny that David was mentioning what he was dreaming earlier, but I was dreaming that I had picked DeMar Hamlin, and then I woke up this morning at like 6 o'clock. I mean, it was weird.
That is weird.
It's just I don't know.
Probably because we were talking about him making the 53-man roster yesterday.
Maybe. Yeah.
Bills defense? Nah, just give me DeMar.
Just DeMar. Right. Just want him. I'll go with tackles and point. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, we did it last night. So where you didn't have to pick defense or kicker, like you could just fill up your roster or whatever. And I ended up not taking a defense, but I did get Greg Joseph. So in all of the drafts that I did last week at Dave & Buster's, Greg Joseph across the board, and then last night Greg Joseph. So yeah. Hopefully the Vikings are kicking a lot this year.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'd like to do that, and you can do that. Do you guys use ESPN for that?
Yeah, we use.
So you can just go in the settings and take off those 2 as draft pick, or how does it?
Well, you would
because I know Keith Fleming loves that.
Essentially, I think what would have to happen is, because I've never input them in like that. I know that ESPN has a limit on how many wide receivers you can have, or really every position.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that we would put them in, and if it doesn't allow them, then we would just go to the next defense and be like, all right, no one, pick up defenses until this guy gets his defense or whatever.
Gotcha.
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You put them on your bench.
We've got a good group of guys where it's just like everyone's kind of on the same page. Yeah. We're all competitive as well. So, but everyone's understanding as well. So
that's what we had last night too. Like we have a very mix of people. We've got young people, we've got older people, we've got Jay, we've got all sorts of folks, and there's definitely a mutual understanding. There's some helping going on. Like people were trying to pick injured players, and we'd let them know, and then they can make the decision and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you got to pay attention to those injuries. I know Jeff Wilson Jr. just got put on the IR this morning.
And I got Mostert last night.
And you got Mostert last night, and So, and is it a chain or a chainee?
I think it's a Chaney.
A Chaney. I'm gonna go with a Chaney for the rest.
We'll wait till we hear his.
Hear his name called. But yeah, I mean that's a big blow to the. That would have been Dolphins probably would have really liked Jonathan Taylor at that point. But and Jonathan Taylor did get picked in our draft, and I'm assuming he gets picked in most drafts that with the hope of that he'll either be on the Colts after those 4 games or does he hold out for 8 games like Chris Jones does?
Well, they're talking about suspending him.
Ooh.
For refusing to take physicals.
Gotcha. Wild times, but
It
it
is.
all gets started next week. And tonight is the first real big college football game of the season, and that's the Florida Gators and the Utah Utes. And when we get back from this break, we're going to start breaking down that game just a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on it, Jay. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for Mosley Dolphin football. The rivalries are back. Listen to every game right here with play-by-play and ultra-high fidelity. Mosley Dolphin football on ESPN Northwest Florida is presented by Panama City Toyota, Orthopedic Specialists, Ellis Agency Insurance, Barbaritos Southwestern Grill and Cantina, Culligan Water, Chapman Wealth Management, and Gulf Coast Aquarium. Your authorized Seachem and Zoomed dealer.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Likely thunderstorms and sprinkles this afternoon and evening with a gentle breeze at 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 88. We will have likely thunderstorms and light rain tonight and be warm at 78. And likely thunderstorms and very heavy rain tomorrow and a high 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. The rain's gone, so we're probably teeing off on the 4th hole right about now, you think, Jay?
Yes, sir.
It's about right. Teeing off, we're not in the fairway yet.
Nope, dog's leg right.
That is good. Little bender around the corner.
Yes, sir.
You're probably hitting 3-wood, right?
Or 5.
Oh, you have a 5-wood? Mm-hmm. Dang, I knew you were old. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. Listen live and local on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 along the Forgotten Coast in Port St. Joe. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget to give us that like, follow, share, subscribe, all those words that mean you're just going to pay attention to get notifications when we come online. Also, download that free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store, and you can listen to the broadcast right there from Tommy Oliver Stadium. Put your earbuds in, turn on your phone, and open up that app, and you'll hear David Hayes and Kyle Wright tomorrow kicking off that coverage at, I'm going to say 7 p.m., David. It sounds like the right thing to say. Kickoff is at 7 p.m.
Coverage is going to start at 6:30.
Now, are you guys live from Tommy Oliver for your show?
No. We did that just kind of the
kickoff of the season.
I didn't have anyone to host the show. So, and that, we had a little bit more people to draw from last year. So it was just one of those things where it made sense. It was the kickoff game, all of that. And so, yeah. But Fridays, I'll have Caveman Rick host.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
You met Caveman Rick at the ESPN Northwest Florida Drive.
I did.
Big Philly guy.
I meant to ask him how he got the Caveman.
I could tell you that.
There you go. Here's your answer.
So, actually, when the show first started, the afternoon show, the Coach's Daughter show, right, with Leanne Schwartzentruber, he called in, and I think actually at this point, Opie was with him as well. Opie, Kyle, and Leanne Schwartzentruber, and he called in and was complaining about the nets that go, or, just saying, like, if you're going to sit down there where the nets go, baseball fields, how they've got the nets going all the way down the, basically first and third base. Right. And so, he's got the beard and everything. So essentially that's how he got his nickname. Opie called, he said, oh, you're still living in caveman times or something to that effect.
And it's funny how just one moment in time with one little nickname can change your nickname for the rest of your life.
It could.
That's it. That's how it works. I was at a Yankee game one time when I was a kid, really before they had a lot of nets. I think they just had the net like right behind the plate, but it didn't go very far. And we were sitting, fairly close down there, and there was a kid, a couple, 2 or 3 seats down, that took a foul ball right in the face. All the teeth went right through that top lip, and it was a mess. That's for sure.
All of them?
Yeah, just like boom, just split it straight down. Lip was hanging down below the teeth, and I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the nets, but also I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in this day and age, people go to those games and they're on their phone.
Yeah, don't pay attention.
I mean, sometimes they're watching the game through their phone, and I'm like, that's daggum ridiculous. But either way, I mean, also though, to some extent, I think that if you're going to sit down there,
it's inherent risk.
Exactly. And, it lessens your chance of getting a foul ball, but also at the same time, it increases your chances of not getting injured. So
I don't understand why the third and the first base coaches have a hard hat, but the umpires don't. Things that make you go,
Okay.
Let's digress.
Well,
no, I like it.
I like that take, though. I would say my reasoning on that is the first and third base coaches could be more focused on the runners.
Yeah, not paying attention to the ball.
Where if those umpires ain't paying attention to the ball, they shouldn't be getting paid. You know what I mean? Because they got to call fair and foul balls. So
that is true.
But the umpire has to be looking at second base as well if a runner's on the move, perhaps.
There could be that. Yeah,
perhaps.
But I know the umpires are they're their own organization. I guess they're part of the what do you call that?
Just probably it's like the MLB
umpires organization or whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure there's an official term.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could get all of the umpires wearing catcher style or hockey style masks out there, or put them in like football helmets with visors.
There you go.
That'd be
awesome.
That would be
good. With the reflector ones, like
it's coming.
Oh yeah,
nets are already here. So
the nets have been here for a little while.
Yeah.
What do you think about nets at a hockey game?
Is that not? So that's not.
Oh, they're there.
They're there.
Oh, they are.
And
there?
They still get over them. There was a couple of games in the playoffs I saw last year where the puck, goes over that net, and man, you better be paying attention.
Yeah, because you got the glass that goes up pretty high. I think somebody had actually got hit by a puck and passed away at one point. Oof, and I think that's what really extended those nets so far up and so far around. But it's a heck of a lot harder to get a puck now than it was back in the day when there was no nets at one point. And that puck just gets chipped over the glass. You got to pay attention.
Did you ever catch a puck or when you were a kid?
In warm-ups, but I never got one during a game.
I got you.
Yeah.
But it's not like a baseball, though, right? Like, I mean,
I'd say it's worse.
Rubber. Yeah, I would rather get hit by.
It's like 12 ounces of frozen rubber.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the shape of it. You can catch that edge, right? With a baseball, it's round, so you're pretty much, no matter where it hits you, it's going to be kind of the same thing. You might get that lace or whatever. Yeah. But with a puck, if it hits you with the edge of it, then you're looking at severe damage. Either way, I wouldn't want to get hit.
No, I wouldn't want to get hit with either one.
No.
And I've taken a lot of pucks to the body with equipment and without equipment. And it doesn't feel good either way, but especially if it's a knuckle puck.
A what?
Which isn't it's a movie thing. It's not a real thing. You remember
I don't
that?
know.
The
We
Mighty
used
Ducks?
to use it in street hockey.
It's knuckle puck time. Flip it up and hit it. Mighty Ducks, come on. Nothing?
Yeah. Emilio
Estevez,
yeah. Emilio wasn't hitting the pucks. He was the coach. And you know why he's the coach? Because he was serving community service. And the rest is history.
You see, it's been so
Community
long.
service for Emilio, and then they go on to, play in the World Cup of junior hockey, and then they have an Olympic team down the road. All that wouldn't have happened had Emilio not gotten in trouble and been sentenced to community service.
Let's keep it 100. It was that was definitely the main thing, but also he was trying to get with the lead character on the team's mom. So
Charlie's mom.
Charlie's mom.
I forget her name.
Charlie's mom.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Justin has a good comment as well. All parents and fans should have to umpire umpires so they have some respect for how tough of a job it is. I think if you ever get ejected for arguing with an umpire as like a parent or fan or whatever, you need to be. They actually used to employ that at Oakland Terrace, like as a player or even a fan. If you were ejected from a game, you would have to umpire 2 games.
Yeah. What if you wanted to umpire?
Well, then you could get paid doing it and not have to get ejected.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Unless you just wanted to have a day where you just laid into somebody and they're like, no, I have to ump.
I was like, I'm in a bad mood today. Let me umpire.
Yeah.
You're out of here.
Everybody's out.
Yeah, it's all right. We've got enough umpires for the rest of the season now because I've ejected the entire park.
There's a strategy. You need some umps, just eject everybody. I like that. All right, Jay. We're not going to do our pick 'em to just a little bit later on, but the Florida-Utah game, and Alan called in yesterday and gave us this parlay of Florida, Hawaii, and Georgia Tech, and he kind of had an assumption that Cam Rising wasn't going to be playing, and it broke yesterday evening that Cam Rising was in fact not going to be playing in this game. Now the line hasn't moved since then, which tells me that everybody pretty much expected Cam Rising not to play, which is what Alan said. So do you think that changes big time Florida's chances of winning this game? Utah's still a 4.5 point favorite. I'll tell you where all the money's at. 40% of the betting is on Utah minus 4.5, but 57% of the money is on Florida, which is pretty darn close. You'd like to see that money a little bit higher, meaning the volume of the bets and the bigger bets are being placed on that. So right now the bigger bets are certainly being placed on Florida, 43% versus Utah, or 57%, which is Utah to 43%.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this Barnes backup guy.
I don't think a lot of people do.
Yeah, so I know that his DraftKings is $3,000 less than.
Still?
Yeah, he's at $15,000.
That's probably a good. What are you looking at? What kind of game situation are you looking at on DraftKings? Is that just an individual game?
Well, I'm listening to you, Keith. I'm staying away from these single entry DraftKings. This is a double up situation.
Okay.
I'm changing my whole.
What's the how many teams is it? Is it lots of games?
This is a classic showdown.
Okay,
this
so
is
just Florida and because I would say college doing like the tournaments with the single entry and picking from all the games, that's almost impossible. I don't think many. There's people that do it. I think it's just for fun.
Yeah,
I had a college fantasy draft the other night.
Ooh,
yeah, Tuesday.
That's cool.
Yeah, first time. I think my first time ever playing college fantasy football.
Does it limit it on? Is there like a limit
Power
on
five?
The team? What's that?
Power five.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Kyle Albritton put it together, and I think we had 8 or 10 teams in there. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was on Fantrax.
Who was your first pick?
Blake Corum. And then I got Jace McClellan from Alabama, and then after that it was just kind of like best available, I guess.
Yeah, darts.
There's so many. You think there's a lot when it's the NFL. You get into just Power 5.
Oh yeah, you're talking about 32 teams versus what, 100?
With Power 5, you're probably looking around. Let's just at 60.
Yeah,
60s.
12 times 5. Yeah, that's fair. Which is double the amount of players in the NFL.
Well, you got the Pac-12. They've got 4. No, obviously.
Yeah. But eventually it'll still be in the same pool.
Well,
keep going, Jay. Keep going with what you're talking about.
Well, no, it's just So, classic showdown, just Utah versus Florida. Now, the thing I don't like about that is you have to. I was Utah heavy, but I had to pick a Florida guy.
Yeah.
So I went with the Florida kicker. And I'm top heavy on all.
So
Utah.
who's your captain's pick right now?
I mean, I've got Barnes.
And that's why he's so much, because you got to remember that captain's pick, it's his salary times 1.5, because you also get the 1.5 points per that captain.
Yeah.
I like the strategies in NFL doing those showdowns. And like I said yesterday on the show briefly, is finding a matchup where you really like one defense in there. So you can put your defense as the captain and get 1.5 points. They get a couple picks, maybe a fumble recovery, maybe a touchdown. And then that allows you to really spread out your salary through the rest of the your picks. But I highly doubt they have defenses in the college showdown.
I am scrolling.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
They do not.
But we'll pick our picks. So I'm thinking probably about 12:20, we'll do our picks for the week. The games that we have lined up: Florida, Utah tonight, Colorado and TCU, South Carolina and UNC, Washington State at Colorado State. My Coastal Carolina Chanticleers traveling all the way across the country to Los Angeles to play the UCLA Bruins there in Chip Kelly. LSU at FSU, Clemson at Duke, and then we've got 3 high school games. David will pick 2 of them on the air, and he'll pick 1 of them off the air, and we won't reveal his pick. We won't even talk about it. We'll just tell him if he won it or lost next week when we review our picks.
Yeah, we can go over who I picked after the game is over or whatever.
There you go. There you go.
I'm with that.
He's got some insider information, though, because he watches Mosley, play football.
Yes.
Every game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, now excited. So again, getting back to this game tonight, a lot of people are excited about it. It's hard to tell. It's their first game of the season. You don't know how's Graham Mertz going to look.
Yep.
What if he comes out and looks terrible? What's the backup guy's name for Utah?
Barnes.
What if he comes out and looks fantastic?
Yep.
Yeah.
But
which could happen with the amplification of the nerves and everything.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Like Graham Mertz in his first collegiate game was on fire. Not a whole bunch of yards, but just accurate as all get out. So that could definitely happen from Utah. I mean, if they have that next man up mentality, it could be a long night for Florida.
Well, and I'm guessing, too, that he's probably known a lot longer than we did that he's going to be the starter, and he's been taking the first-team reps and all that stuff. But I hope Utah wins by 3 points, because I took Florida plus 4.5 last night after that news broke.
Yeah. I think I'm riding with the Gators.
Yeah.
And I think I was riding with the Gators, and
even with Cam playing.
But yeah, even with Cam Rising playing. Again, that statistic of how Utah, everyone loves Utah because of what they did to USC last year, right? And they are great in the Pac-12. But again, I mean, the numbers don't lie. Outside of the Pac-12, they're like 1-5 against other Power 5 conferences. So
who do you think this game means more to, Florida or Utah?
Well, I mean, for Utah, they kind of get that, knock that they're not one of the bigger names in college football. For Florida and for Billy Napier, I would say that it's bigger because...
Much bigger brand, yeah.
Well, yes, and you want to get this year started off the right way. These are one of those big games, and you need to win it because you've got a top 5 recruiting class right now, and this game is going to matter for those recruits.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Barnes comes out. I think there's some beginner's luck a little bit, and I say he comes out hot, and I say the Utah Utes.
Don't pick yet. Oh, okay. Well, you just did.
Oh, okay.
We'll add it in there.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think David already. Yeah, David
he did too.
Yeah,
but I'm not as critical as David as I am of you.
Hey, there's some other good college football games tonight though too as well.
Yeah,
you got Nebraska, Minnesota.
That's a big one.
One that's I don't think is the reason why you continue to say, and I like it. I agree with you. That this is really the first big game, because it is, though. It's one that you're like, okay, I'm looking at 2 teams here that could be competitive. Maybe Hawaii and Vanderbilt was one of those, but I don't think any of us thought, especially with everything going on with Hawaii, I think that's why, one of the reasons, Maui, why Hawaii played so good, possibly. I'm just throwing that out there. But then also Kent and UCF. And for me, it's, watching Randy Pittman. He played with us last year.
Absolutely.
So he should be getting some playing time this evening. So excited about that game as well.
UCF's first game in the Big 12, right?
Exactly. And it's not against a Big 12 opponent. But then Nebraska and Minnesota, Matt Rule taking over for Nebraska.
Yep.
So, and will Minnesota row the boat? So, I need another TV this evening because Braves-Dodgers starts tonight. You got to have Florida and Utah on. And then I'll switch back and forth somewhere between Nebraska and Minnesota and Kent and UCF. So,
well, in that Nebraska-Minnesota game right now, 57% with +7, of course, with the spread, not the money line. 57% of the betting is on Nebraska, 43 on Minnesota. But here's the wild one: 71% of the money is on Nebraska +7, where 29% of that money is on Minnesota -7. All the sharps there's been 2 big sharps are just like the professional bettors. There's been 2 moves to that at Nebraska +7, and then it's definitely trending as far as the betting is concerned. And this isn't a catch-all or a fail-safe. It's just data on what people are doing on the betting thing. But Matt Rule being there, taking those 7 points. Now, if it was 7.5, this might be one, if you're doing some betting, that you buy that extra half a point, because 7's tough in college, that's for sure.
Those Georgia Southern Eagles went and beat those Cornhuskers last year.
Yeah.
It sure did.
Different coach, transfer portal, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a new year, starting from fresh.
And then Marshall beat Notre Dame last year.
They did. We are Marshall.
We are.
But Notre Dame, I think, with Sam Hartman's a whole nother ball game. That's for sure. But you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back talking a little bit about your Atlanta Braves, Jay Henley.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're the radio home of the Mosley Dolphins.
ESPN Northwest Florida is going under the lights this Friday night. It's the Bay Tornadoes at the Mosley Dolphins in a Bay County showdown. And we're bringing you all the live play-by-play from Tommy Oliver Stadium. Coverage starts Friday at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 on your home for the Mosley Dolphins. ESPN Northwest Florida. There are 3 great Barefoot locations. Barefoot on the Bay, Barefoot on the Beach, and Barefoot Hideaway Grill. Whichever location you visit, you'll find amazing food and a comfortable atmosphere, and the views are spectacular. Barefoot Hideaway is tucked in between the Radisson and Ramada on Front Beach Road at Hills Road. Barefoot on the Bay is in St. Andrews behind Shrimp Boat. And Barefoot on the Beach is next to the Bikini Beach Resort on Front Beach Road. Watch your favorite football teams and eat where the locals go. Barefoot. Eat, drink, and unwind.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
You know why he played this one? No. Gator Boots. Gators play tonight, 7 p.m. on ESPN. You're listening Inside
I wish
Drive.
that was true. I appreciate you.
No, you're welcome. Sometimes I don't pick up on it. I thought I might have been picking up on it that time.
That.
But we'll just roll with it.
Yes, sir.
That's what we do here on the Inside Drive.
Absolutely.
You are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can give us a call, 850-215-6290. Love to hear your thoughts on the Florida Gators versus the Utah Utes tonight. And I know we got a lot of big Gator fans in the area. And I know Chris Kramer is a huge Gator fan. He started out as a Florida State fan when he was a kid, but then ended up going to Florida. And I think once you go to a university that has that kind of football program and those kind of sporting events, it forever changes you, and it's ingrained for the rest of your life.
Yes,
just like
sir.
you and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, and grew up going to Auburn games, so it's
there you go.
You transition as you get older, and you get a bit wiser. And
a bit wise. That's rude. I think everybody's. A lot of people are sleeping on Auburn this year. I think you're gonna be real surprised.
I agree with you.
I agree.
That 6.5 win total, I took the over on that and put some cash down on that one because I think that's one that's definitely going to get.
It's 6.5.
It was just it might
right,
still
whenever
be.
You made it.
Yeah, it might still be 6.5 too. I can look that up here in a little bit, but that baffles me that it's that low.
We did our SEC predictions Tuesday, and I think I had Auburn going 6-6. So
Gotcha.
right there.
Yeah, there you go. Right there at the they're going to steal a couple, and I think they're going to surprise a few people. They got second best transfer class in the country behind Colorado, and I'm excited. I'm hope to see some good stuff out of Peyton Thorne on Saturday. And we'll find out a lot.
Is it Jordan Hare or Jordan Air?
It's Jordan Air.
Jordan.
Jordan.
It's Jordan.
Jordan.
It's spelled Jordan.
It's spelled Jordan Hare if you want to pronounce it like a Yankee. But if you're a Southerner, it's Jordan Hare.
Did you do that when you first went?
Oh,
there?
yeah, absolutely. It's
And
like when Beth always gets on me when I say Montgomery or Mobile. It's Montgomery, and I don't know how to pronounce Mobile. So
I've always called it Mobile, but
I
then
know.
again,
I think I accentuate the eel too much.
Oh, gotcha. Mobile.
Just like oil.
Oil. Yeah.
Jordan Hare.
Jordan Hare.
It's like one word.
I got corrected with that live on the air from Brad Law.
Hey, if there's one person to correct you, that's the one to do
exactly.
it. He certainly knows. And you can listen to I don't think it's this weekend coming up because we got the Florida State LSU game will be on the air.
We're going to have UMass and Auburn on.
There's a game on before, though,
yeah, it's
right?
Colorado TCU.
Man, we got all the games.
Yeah, and actually we got a little bit of good news yesterday. We've got a couple more games that we're going to be adding to the docket. So, and we're going to throw out some this year whenever I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place on which game to play. I'll throw it out to the listeners. And, hey, which one would y'all rather hear? Give me enough time to create that clock and everything. But yeah, so we'll roll Colorado TCU. That game should end right around 2-ish or so. It's hard to do the clocks this year with the way that the game has changed. So now you're basically cutting an hour off the game. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Colorado TCU, then right into UMass Auburn, then to Braves Dodgers later that evening.
Man.
And then Sunday, Braves Dodgers and FSU LSU.
If you can't be at home watching all these games or at one of our great sponsors watching these games and you're driving around, you just got to keep that dial. You can go from one place to the other. And, Jay, I know you do a lot of bar hopping on the weekends.
Lots of it.
Yeah, lots of it. So if you go from one place to the other, you just don't drink and drive. But you can just tune into ESPN Northwest Florida and you can pick up right where you left off and listen to it all the way.
I digress for a second here because so David was talking about, what'd you say about the time clock or something? I know we've talked about this, but please.
So back last year when a team got a first down, the clock would stop until the ball was put in place. This year, they only do that in the last 2 minutes of the half.
Of each half, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so clock doesn't stop on first downs anymore except the last 2 minutes of each half.
I'm glad that they kept it for the end of the half, though, because it needs something to separate it from the NFL. Yeah. And that was one of the beautiful things about college football, in my opinion, is you are always in the game, right? Like if you're down 21 points, don't fret because you got your 3 timeouts and you still have the clock stopping, which, gives you enough time to get the play and everything in. So I'm glad that they kept it for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm good with them taking it out for the rest of the game, but like you said, those last 2 minutes, and you make your play calls, you run specific stuff to get that first down, and you practice after you get that first down, getting back to the line quickly, getting set, getting that play in, and moving the ball down the field. Now,
so the last 2 minutes of each half, there are first down
clock stoppage.
Okay, okay,
absolutely. In the NFL, how does it work in the NFL?
None.
But isn't it have something to do with contact and getting hit out of bounds when it comes to the out of bounds stuff?
If you get hit, if I'm remembering this correctly,
inbounds and
you get
out.
Hit inbounds and like the player is taking you out of bounds, it's just the same as you
didn't go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you run out of bounds on your own, the clock stops. However, I'm a little finicky on that, though, just because there's sometimes I feel like where the player, is tackled out of bounds, but they stop the clock. So I'm like,
so if we have a kickoff 1 p.m. Central, are you telling me that by 2:30 we'll have a winner?
But it's not 1 p.m. Central. It's 11 a.m. Central.
I'm just throwing a hypothetical.
hypothetical.
I would say a 1 o'clock game would end around 4, approximately 3 hours, 3.5, give or take.
It seems like it go quicker than that.
Yeah, well, back in, I would say, especially for the big games on TV, like your Auburn and your UMass, not so much. But for like an Alabama-Auburn competitive game, you could be looking at 4 hours and 15 minutes last year.
Yeah,
last year.
Brutally long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the halftimes in college are a lot longer, too, as well, compared to the NFL. NFL games, like 2.5 hours, like almost to a T.
And they're about 3:15, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's true. Unless you got a team. I watch a lot of Niners games, and they control the clock so much that I feel like Niners games are probably, if you did some statistical stuff, they would be faster than a lot of the other games.
Well, and you guys watch Red Zone and stuff, so the games that start at 12 o'clock, they stagger them so well that it's almost like, you'll have some games kicking off right there at 12 and then some at 12:05.
Yep.
And it's just perfect. That's why I like the NFL so much, because watching it, it's almost like a uniform each and every week.
Yep.
The way that they stop it, you have all games essentially going to halftime, like basically, like 30 seconds or a minute after each other, then they come back and they're ending. It is on
the production as well.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
And so they got the 3:05 and then the 3:25 games.
Yep.
That's staggered enough, especially on Red Zone. You're never there may be 5 minutes while you're not watching a game on the Red Zone channel. If that.
I mean, they don't take commercial breaks, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Rhythm and tempo.
Could you imagine, man? I need a lot of water bottles sitting beside me. And not for drinking. They'd have to be empty, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
TT
or
time.
some Depends.
Yeah,
Depends.
I guess that depends.
All right, and speaking of listening to sports right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, as always, we are your home for the Atlanta Braves, sponsored locally by Bestway Portable Buildings, Dave & Buster's, PCB Hobby, and Gulf Coast Aquarium. Last night, Jay, did you catch any of it?
I did not.
I know you didn't because we were at a draft.
We were.
And I know you're a big-time Braves watcher there, but Vines got his first start. He was called up. We talked about it yesterday. He's number 10 prospect in the Braves organization. Got called up against the Colorado Rockies and had a great first outing. As Alan had mentioned to me, really used the changeup well and struck out a lot of batters. He had 6 innings pitched, which was great for your first debut in the bigs. Gave up only 4 hits, 2 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. I think he did hit a batter one time too. But good stuff. How'd you feel about him starting, getting the Braves off to they swept the Rockies yesterday with a 7-3 victory. They also hit 3 home runs, keeping that needed home run total per game less than 2. With I want to say it is we got 30. I think it's 30 games to go, and they've got to hit 57 more home runs to tie the record, which breaks down to about 1.9 home runs per game.
Well, having a 5th rotation this late in the season, I think, is ultimately good, because we need those top 4 pitchers, really rested for September and hopefully late October baseball is what we're hoping for. But yeah, I think that's a great move for the Braves.
A lot of deals going down right now in the NFL. T.J. Hawkinson reset the tight end market with a $68.5 million deal, 4-year extension worth $17.1 million annually. So that's pretty impressive there. It just keeps going. Where's the breaking point to all this, Jay?
Yeah, no kidding, right? I mean, I don't know. Tipping point. Yeah, breaking, tipping, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Braves with a great victory yesterday, swept the Rockies, moving into that big time series against the hated Dodgers tonight. First pitch will be at 9:10 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And then they play 9:10 Friday, 8:10 on Saturday, and then they've got a 3:10 first pitch out there on the West Coast on Sunday. They are currently 4 games ahead of the Dodgers in the NL. So this, obviously, they need to not get swept in this series. Hopefully they can take 3 out of 4. Probably be happy with 2 out of 4, Jay?
Yeah, we'll take 2 out of 4. Yeah, for sure.
Keep a 2-game lead in the NL. We'll get into that crunch time. September 1st is tomorrow.
God, isn't that crazy?
It's wild.
Oh, my gosh.
It is wild. And speaking of September 1st, Labor Day weekend starts tomorrow. We've got our big Labor Day sale going on at Bay Point Golf Club. Spend $200 in the golf shop, and you're going to get a free round of golf. And the beautiful thing about that free round of golf is you can use it that day as well.
Absolutely.
So, lots of good merchandise in the shop. Lots of new shirts have been coming in the last few weeks. Got some really cool stuff in there. Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say, shout out to my dad. His birthday is tomorrow, September 1. So happy birthday, Dad.
There you go. Oh, and happy birthday to our very own Gary Long, who works out there at Bay Point Golf Club. He's been there forever.
Yes.
It's his birthday today as well. I got to make sure. He's probably not listening, but I'm going to pick up a little cake and something else special for him on the way back to Bay Point Golf Club.
That's what you call him now.
Yeah, Gare Bear.
Gare Bear.
Yep.
I like it.
He said, I was talking to Beth about this last night, and we always give people nicknames.
Hey, man.
But we do have a caller on the line. We just got a couple minutes left before this break. Travis, how are you doing?
What's up?
I
had to call on Gator game day, so had to call in somebody. Hello?
And you think that matters for your Florida Gators?
Do what?
That Cam Rising is not playing, and you think that matters for your Florida Gators?
Oh, have they came out with he's not?
Yeah, yesterday, it broke yesterday afternoon that he is likely not to play. They didn't say he wasn't playing, but they said he is likely not to play. And what's the name, guy, Jay, that's getting the start?
Barnes.
Barnes.
Yeah.
Not Ricky.
Well,
right.
Well, the thing I saw today that it's so confusing right now. I really don't think they want anybody to know anyway. But I saw today that Cam Rising said in an interview that he feels expletive good. So I don't know.
I think that was from a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Earlier in this week, he had an interview and mentioned that somebody asked him how he was feeling, and yeah, he gave him the good old expletive answer there. But really, in college football, you don't know until that first series goes out, except in the, I guess, in the Big Ten. I don't think that's this year. I think it's next year that they're going to do the availability stuff.
The way I feel about it is if Florida cannot beat a Pac-12 team with a backup quarterback, it's going to be a rough year.
That Mendez State will be very difficult week 2.
Yeah.
Coming from the Georgia guy who doesn't play anybody until the SEC championship.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, I don't see them having a problem, and like I said, if they do, it's going to be a horrible year. But I had Florida winning regardless of Cam Rising there or not. And I think there's going to be, and I saw somewhere, a post somewhere, there is another player. It might be their tight end. I can't remember his name. Starts with a K. He's out as well. So
there you go. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting. Now, if Florida wins the game, do you think that's like, oh, Florida's back, we beat Utah? Do you think that's going to be the chatter among the Florida Gator alum and fans, or do you guys expect to win this game and kind of get you going on your season?
I expect to win this game and get it going on the season. I don't necessarily think that if we win, it's saying that Florida's back this year because they won last year. And I thought that. I was like, they won last year, and I was like, oh, Anthony Richardson's about to be, amazing. The team's going to be great, and we win 6 games.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that this year and say, oh, if we win, we're back. We're going to be, national championship, SEC title game. I'm not going to feed into all that because I just, like I said, it happened last year. If last year repeats, we win against Utah and we lose a lot of other games.
Yeah, could be. Hey, Travis, we got our top of the hour hard break that we got to take, so we got to jump to this break. Appreciate you giving a call. Enjoy watching your Florida Gators get their season started tonight against the Utah Utes, 7 p.m. on ESPN.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Travis. You're listening to The Inside Drive. When we get back, we'll be talking about some afternoon delight, Jay.
Yes.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're the radio home of the Mosley Dolphins.
ESPN Northwest Florida is going under the lights this Friday night. It's the Bay Tornadoes at the Mosley Dolphins in a Bay County showdown. And we're bringing you all the live play-by-play from Tommy Oliver Stadium. Coverage starts Friday at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 on your home for the Mosley Dolphins. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Thursday's weather. The rest of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the south-southwest, very light showers, and likely thunderstorms at 89. Likely thunderstorms and sprinkles tonight, slightly cooler at 78. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and pouring rain and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 85. About the same at 84 Saturday, and we'll have pouring rain and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. Visit their feed store at the Youngstown location for all of your livestock feed, plumbing, electrical, lawn, and garden needs. They also carry local Chautauqua wines, baby chicks, and a full line of poultry supplies to get your chicks started off right. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
Home to the NFL. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 99% rate, the U.S. economy is
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Skyrockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You singing it, Jack? Sing it.
I am.
Hey, if you don't bring your guitar tomorrow, we're all going to be real disappointed.
Tomorrow is Friday.
Tomorrow is fun.
Yes.
Fun football / I was going to say Fender Friday, but you have a Taylor guitar.
I do.
Finger picking Friday.
Finger plucking Friday.
Yes, sir.
But you are listening to The Inside Drive, as always, joined by my co-host, our director of instruction out there at Bay Point Golf Club, Mr. Jay Henley, DJ Davey Crockett behind the glass. You can listen live and local on 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, and along the Forgotten Coast. Alan, I thought, if you're still listening, I thought the 85 in there meant you were born in 85. You must have been born in 84. So apparently I'm... Oh, he's on the line? David didn't even tell me. Look at that. Yeah. Man, that worked out beautifully. It did. David's back there chuckling. Set me up.
Actually, no, I was born in 85, so it makes sense.
I just turned 38. Never mind. I forgot. I thought I just turned 37.
I'm having a J moment. No offense, Jay. I mean, if my math ain't math, then let me.
No, my math is bad. I was like, I just turned 37 in August. I was born in 85. Wait a second. I just turned 38.
Yep.
My bad. Sorry,
Alan.
Alan.
Cool. Prince said once you stop counting, it doesn't matter anymore, and I stopped counting at 35, so I have to think about it when people ask me to.
Yeah, my wife's the same way. She always has to ask me when we're somewhere when somebody asks her or whatnot. I said, you got this.
Yeah.
Because she's got a birthday coming up in 2 weeks from Saturday. September babies. Your dad, Alan, Beth, Liam, both of her parents, actually.
My Meemaw.
David's Meemaw.
There you go.
You know why September is the most popular birthday month, Jay? Come on, you can figure this out.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of afternoon delight going on around that New Year's break.
New Year's.
That's how this works. That's how this works.
Absolutely.
The conception, all that good stuff. What do you got for us today, Alan?
Coastal Carolina's covering Saturday.
I sure as hell hope so. That would make my year to start the season. Liam gets to wear college attire to school tomorrow. Normally they have to wear a uniform. Guess what shirt he's going with? You already know the answer, Alan.
He's going with the Coastal McCall shirt.
Absolutely. Got the mullet, and it says, I forget, something about my Colin. But anyway.
Oh, I thought it was something where it looked like his urine needed to go be checked by a urologist.
I don't know if his says I pissed teal on it. He might get in a little bit of trouble there at the school, but we'll just talk to the principal and let him know. It's Fun Friday.
What's on the docket
I pissed teal Friday.
What's on the docket for Alan's birthday this weekend, man? What you going to get into this weekend, Alan Sandage?
I'm not doing anything, man. I'm chilling. Like was it 2-3 years ago, I went to Dominican Republic, man, and I literally almost lost my life partying too hard on my birthday. So ever since then, I really just take it easy.
Yep.
It's not anything. It's business as usual. I got college football I need to bet on. I signed up to work so I could get off at the end of the month and come see you guys. So it's just business as usual.
That's cool, man.
There you go. It's just another birthday, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
My son gets more excited than I do.
Yeah. There you go. So, your parlay that you gave us yesterday, you got Florida, Hawaii, and Georgia Tech. And with the news, you called it. He said he wasn't going to play, and then not too much longer, they announced he's likely not to play. So, but, still think Florida's got more talent on the field than Utah?
Man, I am so upset at how this plays out. Like, I get the policy of not speaking on injuries unless it's season ending. That's cool, but, like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, nobody knows anything. And it's just a word salad every time the coach talks. So I did some more research and went back, and it looks like they haven't had full scrimmages for almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
He was concerned about the injuries to the quarterbacks. So, he hasn't even confirmed that the tight end's out, but like people are saying it's pretty much a guarantee too, because he hasn't played any more than Rising. But we were talking about this in my chat this morning. Florida's talent hasn't like slipped. Like they're still a top 5 recruiting class, and even last year they still had a ton of talent. It's the coaching, man, and I give Napier, it's an adjustment last year. I got to see some improvement this year, and if they can't win this game with the third string quarterback playing, their top receiver tight end out, like I got to judge them a little.
Yeah. So this is a big one for Napier, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it needs to happen, honestly, given that Rising's out and he's got talent. Even if they're not, seasoned, they don't have a lot of reps at this level, it's still a very talented team. So I just need to see something.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah. I'm searching up the weather for in Utah, man. I want to.
Smart.
Yeah, I want to.
Smart. You're really diving into this game.
I really am.
I like it.
I am.
You know what's going to be the real X factor? The altitude.
The altitude, yeah.
Nobody talks about. Altitude is going to be an issue, and Utah is probably. It's got to be one of the top 5 hardest places to play out on the West, what you would consider the West Coast area of football. I mean, they have a really good home field. Like the crowd's into it, the elevation. When you catch them in the winter, the elements, it's pretty good.
6,100 feet there, Jay Bird.
92 degrees at kickoff. 92.
It's a dry 92, though.
Yeah.
You sure it's 92?
Yeah, I'm looking at Salt. Well, I'm looking. Is that in Salt Lake City?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, 92.
It's not going to hit like that humidity they faced last year. That was tough on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's so funny. This matchup is a weird one because they came down to sea level in the hot and humidity, and now they go. It's obviously going to be hot, but not humid.
Yeah.
But
what you think, Alan? I mean, I've been kind of following Keith a little bit on this double up deal with DraftKings. I've got
Alan doesn't talk DFS.
I can talk in a little bit. You can do the opposite of what I say. You'll be successful.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I like it.
Do I go with the running back Johnson with Florida? I mean, what do you think? He's at 8,200.
So if I was doing anything with the running backs on Florida, I would look at is it Etienne? Is Etienne their running back?
Yeah, the little brother, right?
Yeah, the younger one. Yeah, I feel like you're gonna get a high dosage of him, man. He's supposedly their playmaker from reports in the camps or around the practices. Like, this is supposed to be a high dosage of him. I mean, Mertz is not a good quarterback to anybody that's not a Florida fan, I guess, because if you Google his name, like, nobody says anything positive about him, and it's mostly because of the Wisconsin tenure. And I mean, he could show some improvement with Billy Napier, but I just wouldn't bet on it, and the market isn't either. I mean, you got Rising going out, the line dropped 2.5 points, and then there was more money coming back in on Utah at 4.5 than it was Florida at plus 4.5. So I think a lot of people just faded in the idea that Mertz is your guy. Can he protect the ball and not turn it over? And can this Utah defense, get like a pick six or something like that if they convert, offense to defense, or defense to offense, sorry. If they convert defense to offense, a lot of people don't think Florida has enough to come back.
Okay. All right, that's good. I changed it, man. I went to Etienne. Is it Etienne?
Yeah, you're going to get a high dosage of running today.
If Florida's going to win this football game, it's got to be running the ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would expect it to be. I mean, I think Utah only lost one corner to the NFL, but they're returning most of their starters, I believe, on defense are coming back. So
my Florida plus 4.5 is making me nervous now with talking about all these Utah defensive players and how terrible Graham Mertz is.
It's all like it's one of those things. Like I just did a write up on it, and it was like, look, if you got in early like I did, you're stuck. You just have to hedge. If you're coming in late, you just have to think: are you more concerned with what Utah is missing, or more concerned with what you don't know about how Florida will look?
Yep.
Like that's essentially what you're going to be betting on. And when you have so many different variables in a game that could go either way, just watch it live and just hedge it. So if you put 25 on the Gators to cover and the game's tight and you think Utah's going to backdoor it, just throw 25, 30 on them to cover the backdoor. So it's just a matter of your perception. I'm from the school of I played it, I need to see it through.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, once you're committed, you're committed. You got to see it through. Let's get back to the Coastal Carolina UCLA game. Coastal Carolina, what, still 14.5? I haven't looked at it today.
Yeah, my understanding was they were still 14.5 and taking the majority of the money still too.
Let's take a look. So what do you think? What is it about Coastal that makes you think they cover against Chip Kelly in the old Rose Bowl?
Having the experience come back, man. Like they had a lot of players come back, including obviously their quarterback, which matters. And then you get the coach come back, like I was saying, like he's a guy who's been around. Like he's not just some up and comer or somebody that is new to how big programs work. He's not going to be intimidated by the magnitude of playing a UCLA, even if he is at Coastal Carolina. And I'm high on Urban Meyer guys. Hafley was one of those guys. He started at Boston College. In his first year, he got a decent transfer quarterback, and they were competitive. And obviously, everybody knows about Zay Flowers. Like that's Hafley. Like that was his scheme, and him exposing people to the playmakers that he had. I think Beck has that same kind of like mentality. So with the talent still on Coastal, I feel like they're going to be fine, like to cover this number.
And does UCLA?
And last year, I was going to say one more thing. Last year, South Alabama came into this spot and almost beat UCLA.
Yeah, absolutely. And, South Alabama's I think they went 10-2 last year, something like that. Only lost to Troy, maybe, and UCLA. But Troy had a hot run too, as well. But yeah, does UCLA play a lot of teams that run the style of offense that Coastal does?
No, not really. The people who are from the school of the option and spread option, like Chip would know how to like go about game planning for it. I don't think at this point there's anything he hasn't seen. What I do worry about is UCLA doesn't really have a home field advantage if they're not playing USC.
Yeah, because nobody goes to the game. Yeah, especially this game, nobody's going to show up to it because it's Coastal Carolina. David, you okay back there?
My knee just started hurting out of nowhere.
I thought he pulled a hammy or something like that. I was going to have to get some yams for him. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. Do you think they got a shot of winning straight up at all? You can say.
I'm not sure on that. If I had to play it, I would give it a shot. I would give it a shot, but I'm not going to tell people to follow me on it.
I like the 14.5 right now, without having to buy that half a point. Right, anytime you get that half over a double touchdown is a good hook.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I was going to talk about on my next podcast. With the games running similar to how the NFL works, I feel like you kind of have to give some consideration to the numbers now. Last year, 14.5, I would still buy it up to 15. In the NFL, you don't typically see spreads that high because it's so competitive. And then, again, people typically run out of time to cover anything over 2 scores.
Yeah.
I think we might start seeing that in college, too.
Yeah, because the whole clock change and all that, which Jay remembered today.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big over under. Yeah, like you were saying, right now, 55% of the money is on Coastal Carolina to cover 45% on UCLA, but 40% of the betting is on Coastal, 60% on UCLA. So about a 15% difference right now between the betting and the money where it's at. So no sharps have taken any action yet on this one. So But yeah, that'll be a fun one. We're going to pick that one here in the next segment, and well, that's a straight up one. So probably I'll probably get that wrong because I'm going to go with my heart for here on the show.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, and we talked about the Braves a little bit in the last segment. But what do you think about Vines and his first start?
He sounded like he had. I was listening to it on the radio because I don't mind watching it on TV, but the radio kind of gives you more insight. He sounded like he had good control of the situation. I think there was the second or third inning, I think he gave up a leadoff double, and he just handled it. Like, he stayed composed. He didn't seem frazzled. He gave up a run and still just kept his composure. And his pitch selection was great. Him and the catcher were on the same page. And call me old school, but I love anybody with a good changeup, and it sounded like his changeup was rocking.
Yeah. It's an exciting big series coming up against your hated Los Angeles Dodgers there. Got to at least take two?
We got to. If we take two, we can coast to the end. If we don't take two, if we really want home field advantage, and I know the last time we beat them, we really needed it, so I think we have to take it serious for a couple more weeks. So definitely want to get two, if not sweep them, because they got some momentum themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight looks like it'll be Spencer Strider versus I forget Lynn's first name. Lance. Lance. I had Lynn Layton. That's a car dealership up in North Alabama that's close to where Beth lives. So anyway, but yeah,
I have no idea how he's still valued in the league, man.
Yeah, he's 10-9 this year with a 5.56 ERA. He's got a 1.38 WHIP.
Jeez. He's got 2 pitches.
Yeah.
He's always had only 2 pitches, and if the movement isn't there on the fastball, then everything looks like the off speed. So that's probably why his ERA is so high this year. Yeah. But he continues to get gigs with teams, so I don't know.
Yep. Well, hopefully maybe Acuna can hit another home run tonight and get that 30-60 that you've been talking about, it seems like, since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I need Acuna to ball out, and I need tickets to L.A. so I can fight Mookie Betts. I've had it out for Mookie since 2020. He balls against. It's insane. You know how in sports there's some players they just get up for certain teams.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't What did we do to him? Why does he play so well when he plays the Braves?
Well, maybe he won't. Maybe he won't play so good this series. Hopefully.
Don't charge the field. Don't charge the field in Los Angeles. We know what that'll get you.
Oh no, I gotta catch Mookie in the parking lot.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I feel like I'd take Allen over Mookie.
I would take Allen over Mookie in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if Mookie knows how to fight, man. He's one of the quirkiest guys. I don't know if you guys have listened to his podcast or something, but he's dabbled in everything, and everything he does, he's good at. He bowls 300. He can run 4.4. He hits bombs. He can dunk. If he took up fighting, he's probably elite at that too. So I'll get beat up.
It'd be on principle though at that point.
Yeah.
Jay, you got any questions for Alan before we gotta let him go here in a couple minutes so we can get on our picks?
I just want to wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, man, enjoy the weekend and enjoy college football this weekend. I can't believe it's here. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys, and everybody enjoy what you hear this week, because next week I'm in NFL gambling, and I'm going to be a totally different monster. Might be a lot of curse words. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. As long as you're not doing it on the air, we're good.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be on the air.
There you go. I'm excited to get this going, because both seasons are right here. College really gets kicked off tonight and this weekend. And one more before we got to let you go. FSU, LSU. What do you think?
I'm still on FSU money line. It's a huge game. After looking at the schedules, if Florida State can win both their ranked games, they're almost a shoe-in for the playoffs. If LSU wins this game, it kind of sets them up for a little buffer if they lose one of those tough SEC games. So I think both teams are going to take it seriously.
Yeah. Who do you think, just a second left, who do you think it's more important to get the win for their playoff chances, Florida State or LSU?
Got to be Florida State.
Yeah, because LSU can win a lot in the SEC, and that'll propel them up there.
Yeah, Florida State's schedule is super weak after they play Clemson, which is in, 2 weeks itself. So
yeah, coming up here pretty soon at Clemson, I believe, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, Alan, we appreciate you as always, and hopefully that parlay hits. We got Florida, Hawaii, and Georgia Tech. You heard it here first. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
What is the conversation surrounding the University of Alabama right now? The quarterback competition, if you want to call it that.
Have they announced yet?
No, they have not announced, and I highly doubt that they're going to get any. No, it doesn't really bother me because it really shows that no one separated themselves. I think the guy that
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Thursday's weather. The rest of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the south-southwest, very light showers, and likely thunderstorms at 89. Likely thunderstorms and sprinkles tonight, slightly cooler at 78. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and pouring rain, and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 85. About the same at 84 Saturday, and with pouring rain and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an eco-friendly all-electric Kia EV6 that gives you the movement that inspires. You can live fully charged while saving now and down the road on fuel costs. Schedule a test drive today and explore the electrified Kia vehicles at Billbird Kia. You have to drive it to believe it. Now offering $7,500 EV lease bonus when you lease a new 2023 Kia EV6 Wind Electric all-wheel drive for 36 months. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology with a performance that minimizes the impact of our environment. Billbird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. See us today at 2435 East 15th Street or BillbirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We make it easy to switch to EV ownership and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Close-in lease based on a new 2023 Kia EV6 model number N5452. No security deposit required. $7,500 EV lease bonus not available for cash. Subject to credit approval, dealer participation, and vehicle availability. $49.99 due at signing for well-qualified leases. See dealer for complete details. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billbird Kia warranty. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/5/23.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
What university? Jay.
What university?
Jump around between the third and the fourth quarter.
Jump around. I don't know.
Wisconsin.
Oh, there you go.
Now you know. Now you know.
There you go.
I couldn't order anything up in Wisconsin when I was up there. They couldn't understand me.
I thought you'd never been north of the Mason-Dixon line.
No, I've been to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess if you separate out the north and the south, Wisconsin's kind of Midwest.
Yeah, that's Midwest.
Okay,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you haven't been to the north. We're going to call it the real north.
The real north. Yeah. But Wisconsin, they couldn't understand me.
Yeah, there you go. A little bit of a language barrier, so to speak.
There was a language barrier.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I get some of them fried taters?
Hopefully you're not on Sling Blade. Anyway, you're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to get into our picks here in a second, but after our fantasy draft last night, John Tatum wasn't there, so Steve was kind of drafting for him, and he kind of gave him the guidelines to pick a lot of Alabama players. So I wanted to kind of jump in. Could you make, not your whole team because the defense and that kind of stuff, but your quarterbacks, your running backs, your wide receivers, and maybe even your tight end, can you basically form a strong fantasy football team around one university's players? We're going to use 3 universities here. We've got Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia. We'll start with Ohio.
LSU needs some love.
Okay,
there.
we'll do LSU as well. But we'll start with let's start with Alabama. Who are you going to put in a quarterback there, Jay?
Tua.
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
Tua.
I like that. So you got Tua, you got Mac, and you've got Jalen Hurts. If you want to go that way,
yeah.
if he's
we'll count it for this
for
one.
Oklahoma, then that's fine too. So if it was all 3 of those choices, I would go with Jalen Hurts. Fantasy speaking, the health is the only reason that I wouldn't go with Tua. So yeah, I'll say Jalen Hurts since he said Tua.
Yeah, there you go. I'll go Mac Jones just because why not?
Okay.
All right. Running back. Two of them, Jay. Alabama. We'll go David first because he's got it.
Derrick Henry, obviously, and then secondarily, I would. It would probably be Najee.
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Najee Harris and Derrick Henry. Who are you thinking, Jay?
I will go.
I mean, you could take similar
take
ones
the same
too.
ones.
Yeah,
I'll go Damian Harris with the Bills.
there you go.
And I'll go Jamar Gibbs with the Lions.
Ooh, nice.
Jameer Gibbs is a good one.
I would go. I got to go with Derrick Henry, but I'd also take old Mr. Oakland Raider, Josh Jacobs.
Oh, Jacobs up there as well. Yeah,
It just goes to show you how many players. I think
Right, that's
Alabama
why I
leads
said-
the NFL right now. I think with 56 active players on rosters in the league right now.
yeah. They give you more options.
Yeah, for sure. All right, wide receivers, just two. What do you got, Jay?
Oh, are we still in Alabama?
Yeah, we haven't changed yet.
Oh my goodness, we have not. How about I go Jerry Jeudy, and how about I go Amari Cooper?
Ooh,
I like that. I like
Look at
that.
you.
I'll go Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle.
Those are the two I was going to go with. I like that you, Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
He's in my draft.
He is in your draft.
Yeah.
You did good. All right, tight end might be a little bit tougher. O.J. Howard's in the league.
Yeah, I don't know what team he's even on right now.
I think he's a free agent at the moment. Cameron Latu got cut or waived by the Niners. He didn't make the roster.
Irv Smith's out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go Irv Smith by default then.
There you go.
What else you got, Jay? Jay's got a list going over there.
That's who I was actually thinking about.
Irv
Smith.
Yeah.
Irv, yeah. All right, we'll stop there because, I mean, we go. I don't know. Is there any Alabama kickers?
No, there's not. Will Reichert will be in the league next year.
Gotcha. There you go. All right, we'll move on to Ohio State. Start with quarterbacks. Is there more than one active quarterback in the league right now? I can just think of C.J.
Well, if
Stroud.
we need to save Joe Burrow for LSU.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to go that direction, I mean, it's a lot different than Jalen Hurts with Alabama. Jalen Hurts actually had success and was on the field with Alabama.
Yeah, he played, for in the national championships.
So, yeah, I think Justin Fields is the direction you have to go.
Yeah. Not Georgia, Jay. He's not Georgia.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Justin Fields or C.J. Stroud, you got two of them in there. I don't think there's really anybody else that we could say. All right, wide receivers. Quite a lot of running backs. We'll go running backs next.
Is there quite a lot of
wide receivers?
Ohio State running backs.
No, just really a few.
Oh, you got Zeke for sure.
You got Zeke. You got J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, I forget about that all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, J.K.
I picked him yesterday. That's why he's fresh on my brain.
I'll go, those two, right?
Yeah. Is there any more, Jay, that you can think of or find, I should say?
Robbins is the only one, or Dobbins, I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's the only ones I can.
Marshawn Lattimore, is he still playing? He might be third or fourth string for somebody. But, all right, let's go to wide receivers. We can get to our picks here pretty soon.
Wide receivers.
Lots of wide receivers to choose from.
Yay. What you think,
Ed
David?
Jr.
Oh,
I don't even think he's in the league.
He is. He still is. Yeah, I think he might be on
What a
special
career
team.
for him, man.
Yep.
Talk about Swamp. Is it like he might be the most the longest lasting player from Swamp Kings in the NFL?
Right? Yeah, he's still. Yeah, that would have been. It's going on 12, 13 years ish.
So I see Michael Thomas in here with the Saints.
Yep.
So why is he? I've seen him in the last two drafts be kind of like sitting there, people not wanting to take him. Is there a reason for that, or is that
he hasn't played? He didn't play all of last year, maybe 1 or 2 games last year, and then the previous year for that, I don't think he played at all. Right?
Okay.
He hasn't played a lot.
I think it was like very similar, like 4 games or so.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's still projected to get good points for you. I mean, he's arguably their, number 1 or 2 receiver right there with another Ohio State receiver, Chris Olave.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would probably go Olave, and I'll wait till next year to make my second pick, Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'd go Olave and Terry McLaurin.
Ah, yeah, Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
Man, he's been dropping in draft boards, too. It was a while before he got picked last night.
You think that's the trust in Sam Howell?
I think it has something to do with that.
Yeah. All right. You want to go Georgia Bulldogs next, Jay, before we go LSU?
Yeah, we can go Georgia Bulldogs.
All right. Since you are the Georgia guy, I will let you drive this thing. We'll go quarterback.
Oh, man. Quarterback? So we'll go Stafford.
Matt? There you go.
That's all you got.
That's it. Stetson, he's a backup.
Yeah. Both the same team.
Yeah, both on the same team. Wild stuff there. All right, running backs, lots to choose from.
Let's go Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Who else besides Chubb? Gurley retired, right?
Yeah,
or
I think he's been out for a while. Who else is sitting out there, Georgia-wise? DeAndre Swift?
Yeah.
Yep. Zaire White.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. I'll go James Cook and DeAndre Swift.
Ooh, James Cook. There you go.
Buffalo Bills, yeah.
Little brother of Dalvin. James Cook's second year in the league?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, wide receivers, Jay.
Oh, wide receivers. Will they be part of the Philadelphia Eagles? Sure, right? Let's go.
Same state, but not the Eagles.
You know what? There's really no wide receiver. Let's see. How about George Pickens?
Yeah, there you go.
That's really the only one that kind of comes to my mind is old Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie.
Yeah.
But I think he's on my team in Bay Point, too.
Is he?
I don't know.
Is that all they have out there? Just George Pickens?
You got Nicole Hardman too.
Oh yeah, give me Pickens and Miko. Yeah, because he's with the old Jetterbugs up there.
Yep.
Kyrus Jackson with the Titans.
After those few guys, it kind of drops off pretty significantly as far as production in the league.
Gotcha.
All right,
tight end. Brock Bowers next year.
Next
maybe.
year, yeah,
Ooh.
absolutely.
Yeah. You got Darnell Washington with the Steelers, I believe, right now. So
yeah. Brock Bowers, they're saying could be the best tight end ever picked out of college.
Yeah, we'll see. They said the same thing about Kyle Pitts, who hasn't been a slouch by any means, but I don't think he's met those expectations. But that's really hard when you're drafted so highly as a tight end, and then you go to the Falcons.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's why you divorced him, right?
True dat.
Yeah. Not who dat, but true dat.
True dat. That's
I like that. All right, I'm going to let David drive this one because that's a good one to add in there. It'll be the last one we do, the LSU Tigers.
I think this is a team that can rival Alabama as far as all of the possibilities that you can have. So, obviously, you start at quarterback and you go Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, active quarterbacks.
Tied on the mind.
Is there anybody else in the league besides Joe Burrow?
I mean, you had Zach Mettenberger.
Yeah.
A while back.
Yeah.
Jamarcus Russell.
He just doesn't like to watch film.
Hey, fun fact, and I don't know, actually, let me not say fun fact because I haven't checked this, but I saw someone put out on social media through their first 25 games or whatever, Justin Fields is 5-20, Jamarcus Russell was 7-18. Yikes.
Man. J-Mark. All right, let's move to running backs.
All right, running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I guess, not in a great position, but... And then who else do we got over there? I know Jay's looking
kind of a veteran in the league.
What about?
I don't know if he's signed
Davis
with
Price?
anybody.
Is Davis Price?
Davis
still?
Price, yeah.
Yeah, he's third string on the depth chart for the Niners. But currently one of the more not sought after free agents, but one of the more big name free agents out there.
Oh, Fournette.
Yep, Leonard Fournette.
Well, you can't draft him for my fantasy team if I want points, right?
That's true. That's true. He's not even on a team.
Yeah. So I'll go Edwards-Helaire, and is that it though?
Darius Geis?
No, that was a bad situation for him. He went to the Redskins, and I think he ended up getting I don't think he's in the league anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
Old Juice Man.
Juice.
Yeah, I think he has some domestic violence issues or something.
Wide receivers, Jay.
Wide receivers. Who we got? Odell Beckham.
There you go.
Let's see here.
Got to go Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase. Yeah.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Best receivers in the league.
Yeah. There you go. Jarvis Landry's in there too. He's been in the league for a little bit longer now.
What do they have as tight ends in the league though? That's
tight ends. I don't even know at this.
How about Eric Gilbert? We didn't talk about this on the Afternoon Underdogs, but he started at LSU, transferred very shortly after that to Florida, then went to Nebraska, and he just got arrested.
Oof, man!
2 days ago.
He didn't go to Georgia.
Oh no, you didn't, Ryan Mulkey.
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
I think Georgia was on the radar for him though. Eric Gilbert.
That makes sense. All right, you ready to start?
You see any tight ends over there though, Jay? For LSU?
That was the slowest turnaround ever. Like you were sitting in a recliner and somebody was talking at you from the kitchen.
He's got it pulled up.
Give me a cold drink out of the refrigerator.
All right,
please.
Please.
What you want?
No, I'm just messing.
You got that good old Code Red over there.
That's right.
That Code Red.
Mountain Dew Code Red. All right, let's start jumping into our picks. The first one, we'll go Jay, David, Ryan, and we'll snake and just go around and go back and forth. Florida, Utah is the first one. That's tonight.
Spreads or straight up?
Straight up. No spreads. Some of these should be fairly easy.
Straight up, I will.
Not this one. This one's not fairly easy.
I'll go with the Utes. I'm going with the Utes.
You're going with the Utes? Mm-hmm. All right.
I know Jay does a great job with the community and, teaching the Utes and all of that, but I am going to roll with the Gators here. Florida Gators getting it done in the elevation, all of that good stuff. They'll win.
There you go.
Cool.
You got the Utes. He's got the Gators, and I took Florida on the betting world plus 4.5, but I think Utah wins this thing with a walk-off field goal, wins by 2 up there in the elevation, and ends up getting it done. Cover the bet, and the Utes win, take down Florida. All right. We got one more. We got a couple more, and we'll hit a break. Colorado and TCU. I put this one on there just to see what your thoughts were, really. I think TCU's a pretty here. I'm gonna pull up the
dude. How about this Ramsey Brooks, who is 6'5", 455-pound defensive guy for TCU?
Yeah,
you read about?
I have not. Tell us about him.
Good gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just seeing this. I mean, I'm looking at pictures of him, and it's like, whoa, amazing. But I go TCU because of 455-pound freshman.
Freshman 455.
455.
That's a big feller. Right now, the money is on. I'll just go money line. 98% of the money, or 74% of the money, or bets are on TCU. 98% of the money is on Colorado, but I think that's just a lot of people taking shots at a plus 650 money line. Right now, Colorado is a 20.5 point underdog to TCU over there in Fort Worth.
Ooh,
you still going with the Horned Frogs?
Yeah, I'll go with the Horned Frogs.
There you go.
Just now that I'm learning,
I just stuck it on there because it seemed like a good one to talk about. But
sure.
I was talking to one of our guys that works on the maintenance crew this morning. He's like, yeah, Colorado's going to win this game. They're going to beat Oregon. They're going to beat Washington. They're just not going to beat USC. Whew. I like the high hopes. And I really got to see a lot from Colorado in this game to see how they gel. Number one transfer portal class in the country. Deion's obviously got the passion. He's got them fired up. They're ready to play. If this one was at home, I might have a little bit different thought of it. Now, TCU has lost a lot of players. Max Duggan did get waived from the team he was drafted from, but that doesn't matter for this year. I got to take the Horned Frogs in this one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about Deion, and I'm rooting for him this year. I mean, I think we talked earlier about Colorado, but yeah, I think TCU does bring this one home.
There you go. David probably don't even have to ask.
TCU.
Yeah, you going TCU?
Yeah, I'm going to go TCU. If we were going with the spread, I would take Colorado.
Yeah. Ooh, so let's discuss that. 20.5.
20.5. Yeah, I like Colorado to stick within that.
Right.
Man, who was it yesterday? Was it on this show or was it on the Afternoon Underdog? Someone was talking about Colorado having like an 8-win season or so. So I like that.
I think it was on here. Yeah. But I forget who I was talking about. Somebody talking about them having an 8-win season.
Because that's like, for me, like a ceiling or so, like 8 wins.
Everything has to go right. They win games they shouldn't win, all that stuff. But yeah, 20.5 is a tough one. Although I liked what Alan said earlier, thinking about that, these larger spreads. I mean, we talked about over-unders last week and with the clock moving and that stuff. But the spreads, too, I didn't really think about that until he mentioned it, covering some of these bigger spreads, but with the clock moving more. Is there enough time? Like Auburn-UMass, for example, I think that one's 35. So Auburn's got to win by 5 touchdowns, more than 5 touchdowns. Is there enough time to score that many if you're not, Caleb Williams and, that kind of stuff?
I don't think so.
I think that there is, though, because normally in those kind of games, you're jumping out to a lead pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I would say that there's still time. And that's kind of one of the reasons, one of the things I did not get to watch any games live last week. So I haven't seen, what the difference is and all of that, because when we had the Notre Dame Navy game on at Dave & Buster's, but
you were drafting like 16 different drafts.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
You
like
had
I didn't
time to
know
tie your shoe.
Nothing.
Yeah, this week it'll be fun to kind of see that. But yeah, I'm hopeful. Not talking about not jumping into this Auburn game, but I'm hopeful. Auburn has historically the last few years in these games that they should win by big margins.
Yeah.
Not ever
Like
doing it, playing down to their competition. New coach, a lot of new players, new quarterback. I want to see Auburn get out and get to a fast start and score a lot of points and show me that their offense is there. All right, we'll do. We're right at our break. We'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll finish the rest of these games. So we had TCU across the board on that one. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hales Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be deadly.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Nothing says good morning like a drunken human alarm clock.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio.
We all know he loves the Florida Gators, but that's okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I can control the world.
Ready for your next Toyota? We're ready for you.
And during this month's national sales event, you can get 2.75% APR plus no payments for 90 days on a new Camry. 2.75% on the unstoppable Tacoma. Get 2.9% on the legendary Corolla. And get 2.9% on the impressive RAV4. Online, in person, or somewhere in between. Whatever works for you, always works for us.
Offer expires September 5th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Coming in hot.
So hot.
It'll be a hot one. Really hot. Goddamn.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, roll. I'm going to say War Damn Eagle. Yeah. See, I got into the SEC football kind of at an older age as I dove into Auburn fandom with my beautiful wife, Beth, and I've learned a lot of different things, like the whole Georgia fight song, right? They also play that at Auburn games. And then the Sweet Home Alabama, they play that at both places too. So it's like, it doesn't seem like one person or one team owns anything.
Should we play both of the fight songs real quick and see how similar they are?
Well, the Auburn fight song is not similar to Georgia's fight song. It's just they do that A-U-B-U-R-N as well. But that's obviously, and they only do that sometimes. So maybe that's because Jay used to go to Auburn games.
There it is.
Yeah.
You
had a lot of control over what the bands are playing. But it's also like kind of the camaraderie in the SEC and all that stuff too. But it's our final segment today before college football really gets kicked off tonight with that Florida-Utah game. We're going to jump right back into our picks here on the Inside Drive while we sit inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. I'm sure if Chris was here, he'd be picking Florida, no doubt, regardless of the scenarios, the quarterbacks, the offense, the defense, the coaches, whatever it may be. Because when you bleed a certain school's color, you're always going to pick them. That's why when we come up to the pick, I'm going to have to pick a certain school. I bleed it, I piss it, all that stuff. Is that fair to say? Is it okay to say on the air? I mean, I said it, so it doesn't matter now.
You said it like 3 times. I don't know.
We'll find out. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. It's on a shirt. It's a hashtag.
Yeah.
It's just you bleed teal.
There's a lot of other words that are on T-shirts that you can't.
Yeah, that's true too. Just because it's on a T-shirt. Yeah. Anyway, so Jay got Utah, David's got Florida, I've got Utah. All three of us have got TCU. Let's get into a tough one. We've got the SEC-ACC matchup kind of kicking off the season every year, and that is South Carolina at UNC. Jay, you lead us off on this one. Here, I'll tell you the money first. So on the money line, you've got 55% of the betting going towards UNC, and you got 45% of it going to Carolina. Carolina's plus 115, North Carolina's minus 140, and then on the big money, you've got South Carolina 72% plus 115. The spread is currently 2.5 favored Drake May and North Carolina. The betting is split even 50-50. The big money is on North Carolina minus 2.5. So who you got?
I've got to spread my love to the SEC a little bit because I've already picked the Utes for Thursday night. I go South Carolina for when is that game? Is that game Saturday?
Yeah, I think 2:30.
That game is Saturday. Yes.
So there's
on
College
ABC
Game Day there.
or 6:30.
Oh, is it 6:30?
6:30 on ABC,
Gotcha.
which is so weird. That is this the last? CBS is done? Is it now all
No,
ABC?
this is, last year. Last
Okay.
year was CBS.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And then next year it's all
changes.
ESPN.
Oh man, David's got. I know he's got the glasses because of the light and all that. But it's just when I turn around and see all of it, it just
Like,
makes
oh,
me
you're trying
laugh.
to be fancy back then, huh?
Yeah.
No, I just
The
can't
Terminator.
see.
The Terminator. All right, so you're taking South Carolina, Jay?
Yes.
Okay.
Man,
that's a tough one.
It is, man, because you got you look at the coaches. You've got a classic coach and Mac Brown. You've got Beamer Ball, which is kind of taking the country by storm to some extent. You've got your quarterbacks in Spencer Rattler, the epitome of inconsistency.
Yeah, man.
With Drake May, you've got a guy who was a Heisman favorite last year. Through after we got to see him a little bit coming into this season, he's a Heisman hopeful. I'm going to go with North Carolina to get it done. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring than people would expect. What do we have the total at, if you've got that?
Yeah, the total right now is 64.5.
Yeah, so I'm more like a 27-23, which totals at 50. So, I'm going with the Tar Heels.
Going with the Tar Heels.
Love that baby blue, man.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
When I was looking at colleges, that's the one that I said if I couldn't get in because you got to have really good SAT scores out of state, like almost perfect. But UNC, beautiful campus, beautiful place. I take Drake May over Spencer Rattler, so I'm going to go with UNC on this one as well. All right, Washington State and Colorado State. The battle of two iffy teams there.
Give me Wazoo.
Wazoo?
Yeah.
All right.
Washington State there. Wait, you said Oregon State?
Colorado State.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. No. Washington State for sure.
All right, Jay.
I'll take Washington State on that one.
We'll go quick on this.
Jay's not allowed to pick after me. Come on. No, I'm just kidding.
No? Well, you got some differences. We got some differences, which is
I know. I'm just poking fun.
All right, I know both y'all are gonna. This is what's gonna make me end up losing, but you got the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I'm not gonna say it again on the air. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers traveling all the way across the country to Southern California. You got one southeast going to one southwest, not northeast, and that's Coastal Carolina. They're currently a 14.5-point underdog. Alan makes a great point. No one's going to come to this game. If you looked at UCLA's attendance last year, except for the big games, a lot of empty seats in that stadium, but which a lot of people probably never even heard of Coastal Carolina out there in Southern California. So probably not going to be a big crowd, but an exciting opportunity for the Chanticleers to play another big-time Power 5 conference team, soon to be Big Ten team. Who you got, Jay?
Considering there won't be a home field advantage, I do take your Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
CCU, no?
Yes, CCU.
You know. All right. David Hayes, who do you got?
Oh, man, I really want to take Coastal Carolina straight up here. I'm with Alan 100%. They're going to stick within 14.5 here. I think the negative here for Coastal Carolina is that not only are they playing on the West Coast and the time change, but it's not starting until 9:30.
Yeah.
So I think that's a positive. All right, do you know if they're already there?
I would assume that they're already there. Yeah, I don't know for a fact on that one.
So, they're probably getting acclimated to all of that.
Yeah, they've probably been there for 2 or 3 days at this point.
You went with CCU?
He did.
Jay? I'm going to go with UCLA. I'll be the outlier here, but I will be actively rooting.
Yeah, this is one of those
TCU.
ones. Yeah, actively pondering while rooting.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, now going to be a tough one. I got to go with the Chanticleers because they're my alma mater. They're my team. I'm excited. That's probably not the most that's the most excited game because there's a lot of question marks. We returned Grayson McCall. You remember he went to the transfer portal. At one point, I thought he was for sure going to Auburn and Hugh Freeze, but then he came back. He's got some unfinished business. He got hurt last year and missed a couple games, and that App State game is going to be a war. But new coach Tim Beck, he's a product of the Urban Meyer tree. Good offensive mind up there. Came from NC State. I'd say arguably probably the biggest time coach we've had thus far. The Dogs with Tim Bennett, and then Joe Magola, who's the CEO of TD Ameritrade. And then I'm drawing a huge blank on our last coach who went to Liberty, and he's a traitor in my mind. That's why I'm drawing a blank, because you don't go to Liberty. Not from Coastal.
Yeah, where is Liberty?
Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
it's all over the world, man, or all over America.
That's true.
Right. Liberty.
And in New York, there's a statue of it.
There's a bell in Philadelphia. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I'm going to take Coastal Carolina. All right, let's dive into this one. Big game Sunday night, only game on that day. All eyes on the LSU Tigers and the Florida State Seminoles over there in Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So in my predictions, when we did that, and I didn't know if I was going to, backtrack myself here, but I had LSU knocking off FSU. This is going to be very similar to the Coastal Carolina game where I'm rooting for a team to win, but I think the other team is going to win. And so my heart is riding with the Noles, whereas my mind is riding with LSU to return the favor from last year. They're going to be in Orlando. Last year they were in New Orleans. FSU got it done. I think LSU gets it done this year. Maybe even very similar to last year. Didn't LSU miss a kick? And that's how Florida State won.
Right?
Yeah, blocked, right. And
after Florida State let them right back in the game, I think they had a 14-plus lead.
And then 2 years before that, or the year before that, rather, they were playing Notre Dame to start the season, and they missed a kick there. So I think that's how it's going to go. Florida State is going to have a chance to win it at the end, and it's going to be a missed kick.
Ooh, I like it. Simulation.
What's the total for that one?
Ooh, hold on. Jay, you talk while I look up this total.
Yeah, what you got?
I was looking at a story about how the Niners aren't going to overwork CMC, what they just said.
Oh, man. Should we be concerned as fantasy owners? A discussion for tomorrow.
There you go. He was my number one pick in the draft yesterday. Because Justin Jefferson was already off the board in a keeper league. So total is 56.5.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think I would take the over. I'm thinking like a 31, 28 or 29.
There you go.
I think Jordan Travis settles in.
Did you just look up who the quarterback is for Florida State?
I think Jordan Travis does settle in and beat LSU this year.
There you go. Any detail you want to get into why, or you're just going to say FSU?
I'm just saying Jordan Travis.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying.
The Seminoles get it done. All right. I think we were talking about it earlier with Alan. I think, like he said, I think this game is more important for FSU, where they are in their kind of tenure with Norvell. They took it out of the depths with Willie Taggart. He's kind of brought it back up. He's got a lot of transfers. He's got some great players. Jordan Travis, I think, is an outside shot at winning the Heisman. LSU, I think, goes on to potentially win the West, but I think this is Florida State's game, and I think they're going to get it done against LSU on Sunday night. So I'm going to take FSU on that one.
Cool.
I threw this one on there just to kind of see what you guys thought, but I've got Clemson at Duke to start the season off, which I don't think is a pushover game there for Clemson. So, Jay, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, we're not playing basketball, so I got to go Clemson.
Got to go Clemson.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yep.
All right, let me get some numbers on this while you're... Yeah. Right now, Clemson is a 13-point favorite on the over-run. The total's 55.5. Again, it's at Duke. So you took Clemson. All right, I'll take the second pick on this one. I'm I hope Linda's not listening, because I'm going to pick an early season upset. I think the Duke Blue Devils shock there's always one big upset in week one, and I think this is the particular one. I think the Duke Blue Devils are excited with this opportunity to play Clemson on the if this was any other point in the season, I would take Clemson, but with this opening game, I picked against Clemson so many times on the Coach James Hale show. show last year that backfired. So if Linda's listening, I apologize, but I'm going to take the upset. The only way you're going to get ahead in our pick'em is by taking some upset. So I'm going to go Duke. You took the Clemson Tigers there, Jay?
Yes.
All right, David, what do you think?
Oh, I would like to see Duke win this game, but I'm going with Clemson.
Yep. There's a reason why they're a 13-point favorite. All right, let's jump into some of these high school games. We'll skip David's pick again tomorrow night. He will be calling the Mosley Bay game over there.
JV is tonight, Mosley at Bay.
Ooh,
yeah.
There you go. Tommy Oliver Stadium.
Yep.
A precursor to the big matchup tomorrow night. All right, Jay, who you got, Bay or Mosley?
I got to go Bay High.
Because you are the Bay High golf coach.
Got to. Let's go Tornadoes.
When's your next match?
Tuesday. Tuesday at Legacy, and
There you go. Match was yesterday was canceled, right?
Or Tuesday was canceled.
Tuesday was canceled. This week's it's a wild week, especially with everything going on. I'm also going to take this strictly because of Conrad Moon is now back. He's got through all his surgeries and all that stuff, and he is back playing golf at Bay Point. And it was Glenn Manley Appreciation Day last week, so I think Bay is kind of running on a high right now. They won last year, so going to be tough. Mosley's looking for revenge, but both, I think it's going to be a fantastically close football game, and I think Bay wins on I'm not saying on a walk-off field goal, but a walk-off score to end the game. So I'm going to go with Bay High on this one. I'm going to. What's up with the money? What's up with
I'm just
doing that?
Yeah, just poking fun at me.
Gotcha.
It's going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Absolutely. All right, we'll get David's pick later because we don't want to put him under that kind of.
I'll pick the other high school games.
There you go. All right, Arnold versus Sneeds.
I was waiting for that pick.
We've already talked about that he's not going to be picking that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the air.
Yeah, on the air. I'll pick it, and then we'll go over what I picked Monday.
I got you.
Tuesday.
Correctamundo. I am in need of a 3-day weekend.
You need to rest your voice in your head and all that stuff. Don't do anything crazy this weekend.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be watching football. Dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's not watching football and eating oranges.
It's over. My life is over or not over. You know what I mean? But I'll be on the couch Saturdays and Sundays.
There you go.
Bedpan and all.
Nah, depends, baby. Depends.
You just go.
I don't want to have to clean the bedpan. I just want to take it off, throw it in the garbage, and grab a new one.
There you go.
Give me some baby wipes. Depends. Shout out, man. We'll get a good sponsorship going. I'll be the youngest man to wear them.
There you go. The sponsorship does require you to wear them.
Yes.
All right, Jay. Arnold versus Sneeds. We got about a minute to go.
Well, that 49-0 smashing that the Marlins got last week, I got to go. You said Sneeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Sneeds.
Bill Thomas, 1A Bill. I'm taking Sneeds.
Yeah.
Jason Patterson.
Dude, that running back.
He had 500 on Arnold last year, and they could have ran him more. He could have broke the record for the state of Florida rushing record for a single game. Derrick Henry has like 5-something, and then Caleb Wagner.
Is he the one with
record. Caleb Wagner is, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so, Sneeds. Yep. Got about 50 seconds.
All right, North Bay Haven versus Holmes County.
I will go with our North Bay. I'll go North Bay Haven.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I think there's a lot of excitement around that program right now.
I am in agreement with y'all. I'm going to go North Bay Haven as well. Everybody enjoy that Florida-Utah game tonight. Minnesota-Nebraska as well. I think Minnesota's a 7-point favorite. Don't forget to tune into the afternoon underdogs tonight at 4 p.m. with your very own David Hayes as he works on resting that voice up. It's been a great Thursday. We look forward to breaking down the games tomorrow right here on the Inside Drive. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.